Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Hey everyone, welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. Today we are continuing on with our journey to our favorite game. The last 2 weeks we did 50 through 41 and 40 through 31, and today we will be doing 30 through 21.
So we're finally getting into the good games now.
Yes, games
Wow.
that we might play.
And in case this is the first time watching, I'm Zach.
I'm Mac.
And I'm Pepper.
I'm about to sneeze.
Typical.
Giveaway.
See, she's still allergic to these games.
Well, one thing to note is that we also have a giveaway going on, so you can see the link below for a video on that. But, as a bit of a spoiler, my 30 is the game that we're giving away.
Ooh.
Oh.
And my number 30 is Everdell. It is a worker critter placement that it feels right away like extremely tight. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get my whole tableau built up of 15 cards, and I don't know how I'm going to do all this with only 2 worker animals that you have right off the bat, and then you gain more as the game goes on. I just really enjoy how it kind of builds up throughout the game, and then you are getting late, and then you have your city or your tableau usually built up to full, and then you're like, I really wish I could get another card played, and is there any way for me to get rid of cards that I've already played for a couple more points? So it's just, I don't know, it's interesting how it builds up, and I would like to try some of the expansions and see how that changes it up. We've got Spirecrest, so hopefully we'll see how those little saddle animals play out.
It's not in my top 50, but it's one I'm learning to like more as we play it more.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
And that's why I put it on our 10x10, so that we could hopefully play it more.
What do you think of the solo variant? I've played that probably as much as I've played the competitive.
Yeah, I've probably played it close to the same amount of times, a few less solo, but it's one of the solos that I actually play, so, or there's some games that it just takes a little bit more. This one, it's pretty simple on how the solo version works, and I think it works pretty well. There's maybe a couple things that I would change or tweak slightly about it, but I think it works really well. And I have beat the Rugwort several times. So I'm pretty good.
What you got, Mac?
My number 30 is Clank Legacy. I
didn't think this would make our list.
Didn't make your top 10 of the year. Spoiler alert.
I like Clank Legacy a lot. I thought that was a ton of fun to play through with you guys. You can go check out the video on it, or not on it, but in our top 10 from the year. And I kind of go into detail about why it's not great for me sometimes. But overall, I thought it was a really fun experience, a great game. And I like the base game too, which is why I kind of moved it up in my my list here, is because I think the base game is fun. We've only played it once since finishing Clank Legacy.
I have not played it at all since they will not play it with me. Even though it's my game.
We played it.
We played it.
You've never asked.
You just don't show up and play.
So yeah, I think
We're playing it right after.
Wow.
yeah, so I think it's a great game, really interesting. It's more deck building, which I love, and just some really fun, cool adventuring components. So, great game. It's a legacy one I'd highly recommend.
My first one for today is, like we said, there's a lot of games that kind of are that same area from 30 to 70.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard to pick them. Games like Council of Four for me, Tutor.
Dinosaur Island.
Dinosaur Island, your least favorite game.
I'm never gonna hear the end of it. But yeah, there's a lot of those games that kind of feel similar to me.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is one that has stood out for some reason, and that is Firenze. I think it's just the building of your towers. What is
Did
this
you play
reaction?
And I didn't like it so much I left in the middle of the game.
Wow.
Oh wait, no,
That-
not Forenzi. I'm thinking of the other one. I haven't played Forenzi.
Taurus?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The
geez.
same color box.
Well, I guess Torres it will not be coming up on her list.
I've not played Forenzi.
I didn't think you did. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I just really like the building of your towers. I don't know. I mean, it's not really a gimmick, but it's a little bit of a gimmick.
It's a bit of a gimmick.
It's fun though, and choosing the tower pieces that you get when you take a card, correct?
Mhm.
You can either use them to build your towers, which you have to each turn, otherwise you will destroy them, or you can also use them as a sort of currency to take
Right.
cards further down the line to take actions that maybe just recently came out.
Yeah, so it kind of plays as both a currency, but also something that a resource that you have to use each turn,
Yeah.
or else, your buildings will collapse. And yeah, I like that game as well. I think it's a great choice. But yeah, that's one that I think I need to play more of. There can be a little bit of the. It's not really.
Take that.
It's sort of take that and sort of just punishing, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not awful, and you usually know it's coming
Yeah.
a few turns in advance, which is nice. No, it's a good pick.
29.
29. What do we got here? I've got my first Stonemaier game.
Ooh,
Which is-
and likely the last. I
Yeah,
assume.
that's first and only. I've got
Euphoria,
one that has already been mentioned by someone.
but not on the list.
Hmm?
Is it on?
It's on someone's list.
Ooh, is this his first crossover?
Could it be?
Not yet,
No.
another one.
I had Viscounts.
It's either Psy or Red
Okay.
Rising.
Oh yes, Red Rising.
It is Red Rising. Yes, I've really enjoyed everything Red Rising has to offer. Like you said, I like the playing a card and picking up a card, and also the kind of the double use card or double use in cards where you can either keep them to score points or you can use them to allow you to do certain actions. And it does seem like the higher scoring cards are the ones that give you the best actions. I don't know if that's always the case, but a lot of them seem that way.
Yeah, that's
Which-
different from a lot of games where usually something gives you a lot of points, but it doesn't really give you a good benefit. In this case, they really want to give you that choice to make, whether you
Right.
want this or that.
Right, which can sometimes make it tough from the beginning of the game because you have to decide, okay, well, am I going to keep this one because it could be a really high scoring card if I keep it at this point and kind of know what I'm going for, or I can play it and possibly get an additional card because that's kind of the biggest thing you want to do in the game is extend your hand size as large as you possibly can, typically, to score the most points that you can. I've just really enjoyed what it has to offer. I know a lot of people say Fantasy Realms is still better, but I've never played Fantasy Realms, so maybe I'll have to try it and see how I like that as well. But I've really enjoyed it. I like the colorfulness of all the cards. I'm sort of glad we got the collector's edition, sort of not. Some of the things are very close in colors and not the greatest,
Yeah.
but like the gold versus yellow cards at least have the gold foil, which makes those easier to see, which I like.
Well, I'm gonna keep on the Stonemaier trend
Ooh.
here.
Oh,
and,
crossover.
Okay.
A crossover on the number?
No. My 29 is Pendulum.
Ooh.
I'm probably the only one who has it on their list. I feel like I have a underrated appreciation for Pendulum.
I had it in my top 10 of the year last year.
I think it's just really fun.
Did
It's,
not make my list this time,
it's just
but I want the credit.
it's different for me than anything else, and it's one that, I mean, I want to win and I'm trying to win, you know, with worker placement and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just fun for me to manage my guys, you know, like, where am I going?
Yep.
Who am I going? You know, that aspect of it is just so great because I'm so used to just sitting and games for hours or whatever, you know, making strategic
It's like we're
thoughts.
playing 2 to 3 hour games all the time.
We are, honestly.
Wow.
Like, it just takes it just takes a long time. And this game is so fast paced. You have to make fast decisions, which is right up my alley. It doesn't always work out, but I enjoy the change of pace, I think, and just kind of. I mean, when we played it with Zach and Carson, like, it was just, I had so much fun. Like, it was a great time. My brother, like, was just struggling, and it was great to watch. But
Wow. Wow.
I just
the
like
pain on his face.
I just like the
fall
time
apart before our
management,
eyes.
you know, the guy management, and then like just everything. I love all of that.
Do you consider it would you call it a real-time game?
Sure.
There you have
Yeah,
it.
there you have it. It's a real-time game.
Considering I've never played any other real-time game and barely know what the definition of that is beyond the title, real-time game. Sure.
Yeah, this one did not make my list, but I agree with you. I go into it with I don't really care if I win. I am just trying to
And he beats
get
us every time.
I'm trying
He
to
keeps saying
I'm
this.
trying
I
to get
won once.
all
He
the
thinks that makes it better.
I'm
"No,
just
don't
trying
worry,
to get
I
up all the
don't try
top.
to win."
I'm trying to get past on all the tracks, and I try to play the harder versions of them to kind of see if I can
And he still
do
beats
that.
me.
And I just enjoy that,
Um,
but not enough to make my list.
Since I'm not going to talk about it later, I just want to comment on the solo variant. It's too much. It's way too much for me. I thought it was the non-timed version, but it is timed solo variant. So you got to take your actions, and if you flip a timer or do other things, place a guy, you have to flip the Automa card, see what they do. If it shows a certain symbol, you move their guy here, move their guy there, flip whatever timer, and that's way too much to handle. I quit. I actually pulled a Mac, and I quit probably a third of the way through the game. And
Wow,
that might be what bumped it off my
it
list.
probably is.
But one game that did make my list is a crossover, not on this list, but one of the previous ones, and that is Gon's Conan Clever.
Ooh,
Ah.
I didn't know if that'd make your list.
Oh, it did. I've played this.
Above Dinosaur Island.
It's weird. Every time. Like Max said in a previous video, the combinations that you can do, that you can chain these bonuses together and really have huge turns. And I mean, it's not just like you build up and you have one big turn. You're just there comes a point in the game where you're just getting big turn after big turn.
Mm-hmm.
And getting bonuses on other players' turns is something I always like in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't really care for beat your own score. But I think this is one where that really works in a solo game.
Mm-hmm. I guess, do you include the Twice as Clever and Clever
Yeah.
Cubed?
Yeah, pretty much all of the Clever series.
No, I guess is the first one the best one? You've
I'm
played
used to that the most, but I did like the second one quite a bit too, and I haven't played the third one too many times.
Nice.
All right, 28.
Ooh, 28. I didn't realize it was my turn again already. Ooh, I've got one that was already set as well in a previous 10.
We're getting into that area. We don't have to say it every single time because I'm guessing the next 27.
Does
will
anyone
be-
have any guess? What if I go, I'm a sneaky little bee?
Honey Buzz Buzz.
Honey Buzz Buzz. So, yeah, I really enjoy Honey Buzz. It feels different than a lot of the other games we have, with kind of the pattern building aspect of it. We have some games where you're doing that, but this one just, I don't know, it feels different, and I just like the way that your little tableau of a, what is it?
Little hive.
Hive kind of comes together. It's just interesting how, at first I thought they were all like different tiles, but they're all the same, and how it all just combines and works together, and you're just, trying to put the actions together, and you can either try to make the honeycomb, the center part of it, as quickly as you can, which will probably give you less actions because
Yep.
you'll have, the double tiles, which only have one thing on them, versus kind of putting them all together and getting maybe possibly 5 actions even at the same time. Just an interesting
Mac
choice.
has no clue what's going on.
It's just an interesting choice.
Like,
and
that is something.
And like you said, I really love the production value. It's a great production for what the price is for sure. I would highly recommend it on that. I don't know what the difference was of the upgraded stuff, but I can't really imagine that it can be that much better. But no, it's a game that I'm really liking right now. Haven't played it a ton, but I've played it a few times and I've liked it more and more each time.
Good. Well, my 28 is a crossover with another game from a previous video.
Wow.
Can anyone guess what it'll be?
Let's see. Let's go through the list.
Meow, meow.
Oh,
Calico.
It is Isle of Cats.
what's the game? I know you do, Mac. What's the game?
Isle of Cats. So just beautiful production. I have not won this game ever.
I've not lost it.
So that I think makes it hard for me. But otherwise I love the game. Beautiful production. I love trying to fill up my boat. I get better at it every time I play. I'm not a huge fan of the card drafting aspect of it. I think it just sometimes can be overwhelming, and some people can get good cards or get a little bit more lucky than you. It's kind of hard sometimes.
Although there are no good cards, according to Zach.
Oh, there are, highly overpowered ones.
Mr. Permanent Basket.
Yeah, I
Fiend.
think if you get lucky early on and get permanent basket or cheap enough permanent baskets early, it is very hard to beat that person, I think, if you don't also get them.
Mm-hmm.
How about everyone else gets to pay double the cost every time you get a basket?
I don't know.
They can get one too.
But yeah, that's why it was a little lower on my list. I think I would like it a lot more if there was an easier way to get those additional permanent baskets.
Yeah. Wish they were like just a permanent thing you could buy that you didn't have to draw. But like,
I don't know if that would work though.
Expensive. I don't know.
No.
Either way, it's a good game. I like it. I don't know that it's gonna stay where it is. I think it might end up going higher.
Falling off the list?
Yeah, I think so. It has potential for that, but I do really like it, and I'm just excited. It's a
gonna
puzzle.
be my next one, but now it's going up to number 1.
It's a puzzle in my mind that still intrigues me, so I think it's a good game yet for me.
Good.
Pepper?
Well,
We got some animal insect themed games. Are you going to continue with that?
This one is pretty much that same exact theme.
Calico.
Another dice rolling, beat your own score pretty much game.
Twice as clever.
Yes. It's the game that is a classic. I'm sure everyone has played this game.
Yahtzee?
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. I know it's not a popular game, but I like it. It's a good way to pass the time. You roll your dice. You get huge scores sometimes. Wow.
I just don't even know who Jesse is anymore.
I just like it.
That's
It's
probably
as simple as that.
It's fun to yell Yahtzee.
It's probably higher on your list because it's on BGA and it's quick on there.
And I have made it to the top 10 in the world at one point.
That is why.
That is why it's on there.
It's a lot of time spent with Yahtzee.
Better than Farkle.
Averaging a game a day for my life.
Well, that's not a terrible pick.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it's me. Ooh, we're on 27.
Mm-hmm.
Got one
Lucky number.
that
27.
has not been on a list yet.
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
I don't think.
Well, let's
It would
decide
only
who
be
said
on her list.
it. Wow.
So I don't think she said it yet.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe she won't. But I am going with a game we do not own. A Zach and Carson game.
Oh, I can guess this one.
Mystic Veil.
Oh.
There's just something about building. It's kind of like, I think you talked about Canvas, right?
Yep.
It's sort of similar to that, only you're building your cards. It's sort of like a deck builder, only it's a card builder. You keep the same amount of cards throughout the game.
You're building your deck too, though.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Because you keep the same amount. You have
Yeah, but
15 cards?
Yeah. But you can change the cards in your
Well,
deck.
yeah, you improve your cards.
Yeah.
So it's I would call it a
Deck
deck
modification.
builder. Deck modification game. I just really love how that works, where you're building your cards. It's got 3 different areas on each card, and you're just hoping to buy certain things that work together in order to buy more cards and get points, and then at the end of the game, just have the most additional points on cards as well. It's just, I don't know, it's just different than any other game that I've played. I can't really think of any others that use that, so I just really like the uniqueness of that, building the cards versus building the deck and the cards in the deck at the same time. It's just a really interesting mechanism.
Yeah, it's a very intriguing deck building game. I think it's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah. I mean, some things are a little hard to like see, read.
Yeah.
You know, when you're at
It
the
is
table.
a little. The writing and some of the stuff is a little small.
I mean, because you're working with translucent cards,
right.
And
so
that
yeah, some of it can be hard to read, and sometimes it can suck if you're wanting to buy a certain card and add it, or buy another part of the card that you want to build in, but then you already have something in that specific spot, so then you can't buy it and add it on there. That kind of sucks sometimes, but I really enjoy how it works, and it's kind of got a little bit of that push your luck where you can keep drawing cards, because once you hit 3 of the, is it 3 or 4 of the red,
the red tree.
marks, red trees, then if you keep going, because you can make your turn better by adding more cards, but you can also bust and get nothing. So
He's a sucker for push your luck.
I love push your luck. I love it.
I'm gonna have to try that one out.
Speaking of push your
A
luck,
lot of stuff Pepper likes.
my 27 is Jaipur. It's not really push your luck at all, really, but
It sort of could be. It's not really push your luck.
Yeah.
You could push to get a bigger score, and then
Yep.
someone else could steal the colors from you.
Yeah.
Sort of, you could argue.
Yeah, it's a 2-player game. We tried it out at our local board gaming store. Liked it, picked it up when it was on for sale, and one time when we just randomly found it, and it's probably one of my favorite 2-player games, I think. I mean, I know we've talked about it. I think we've got a video set on this game.
Check them out.
And really, I don't know what more to say. It can be totally preconceived, or like it's totally advantageous to whoever has the better turn options. I mean, that of course can be affected, but you only have 2 choices of things to do every turn. Either take cards or play cards, and that's really all you get to do. I think it's intriguing how the camels work. I like trying to score the best options. It's just really a simple, quick card game that I really enjoy. So, I don't know. It's cute. I like the color, or I like the design of it. It definitely is not like heavy on theme or anything, but I think it's a good staple.
It's a good choice.
One I'm glad we have.
That one was very close to making my list. Very, very close.
Almost
Great
made
2-player
it.
game. 2 of 3 game, correct? Best 2 of 3?
Yeah.
Or first to 2.
Right. Yeah.
Pepper, what do you got for us?
Unlike that one, this one has a great theme.
Does this one have push your luck?
This one is played, yes, a lot of it. This one is played with a deck of cards. Cribbage.
Oh boy, he is going to some
Classic.
old classics.
Wow.
Wow, he's trying to... I don't know what he's trying to do here.
This is more the comfortable 10 here. I guess this is where they all ended up. But cribbage is for just being. I mean, you have a board that keeps score too, but I think it's got a lot of depth in the ways that you can score and use your cards. Not only are you scoring what's in your hand and your crib possibly, but you're also scoring your pegging by playing cards off of the others' cards as well. And I think that's just a good level of depth for a just normal deck of cards card game. I don't know. I just like it. It's one that we play with our family. Used to.
Is this like big elsewhere? I
grandparents.
feel like it's like a big Minnesota thing. Like that I almost can't go to a house in Minnesota without finding a cribbage board. But like I don't know. I guess I've never really seen
I guess I'm not sure.
or met
Possibly.
others.
Maybe. I mean,
I guess I don't know.
Is there anyone out there who's not a Minnesotan who knows of cribbage?
Yeah, I guess I've never. Have you ever seen it on a television show?
Oh, I don't think I have.
Because I feel like that if it were a classic, you'd probably see it on something.
I mean,
but I don't
it's-
think I've ever seen it. Not saying you have to see it,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
no. I like that one too. It's a game that we've played for quite some time. It did not make my list, but it's one of those comfort games.
And I've now discovered a solo variant that I'm enjoying very much as well.
Nice.
Solo Pepper.
Oh boy. It's number 26. I've got a crossover with one of the games we've mentioned in this list.
Oh boy.
It ain't me.
Is it Pendulum?
No.
Oh, is it Gons?
No.
Is it Clank Legacy?
It is!
Haha.
It's Clank Legacy. Pretty much everything you said about it, only I didn't really have too many gripes with the game. I really enjoyed the whole campaign that we did. There were some things that
You're just sour that you lost.
there were some things that
Should be number
left
2.
me sour.
Yeah, I should have won actually. So let's just.
but no, I think it's a we haven't played any other Legacy games, and I think it's a great one. I would highly recommend it. We'd only played Clank, I think, one time before we played Clank Legacy. You did not do any, but I think it was easy enough to pick up.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, you play like multiple games of it. So by the second game, third game, I was like, oh, okay, easy peasy. Let's
and,
roll.
yeah, it's a simple enough game. It's just like any other or many other deck builders, where you have some combat that you can. If you've ever played Clank, it's almost exactly like that, only with some story to it, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I like that there's different components to the game, like the deck building, plus the I don't know, is it pick up and deliver kind of aspect to it?
I think it's
Kind of
Yeah,
a little
I
bit of
think-
dungeon crawling.
dungeon
Yeah.
crawling. I think is what.
But
Going
I
through
mean,
and-
none of what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that none of the aspects of the game are like so overwhelming. I feel like it's a really good balance of all
Right.
those
I think
different
that
things.
is by far the best mixture
Mhm.
deck building game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I like that a lot.
Yeah. We'll probably hear it again later, so
Later.
maybe
Quite a while.
we'll see. We'll see if
Alright.
it's a three-way
Well,
crossover.
I also have a crossover for my 26 of a game that is already mentioned. It was nearly a number crossover because my 26 is Mystic Veil.
Ooh.
So not a lot to add to that. I feel like I kind of just slipped it in there then. But great game. Love it. Great deck builder. It's very pretty.
It's a shame we don't own it.
I know. I'm telling you, we need to propose a trade.
I think Jesse, when you eventually get to try it someday, I think it'll be one you like.
I was not prepared for my next number. This is a lot of BGA games, board game arena games that I've been playing.
So they're
There's
just kind of hot
Yahtzee,
on your
there's
mind here.
And
What's
this
next?
one,
Bingo?
What is next?
Solitaire?
Solitaire and bingo.
No,
The next
me
two.
solitaire? No. No, this is an Abyss Universe game, and that is Conspiracy. Which, did you ever get to try that?
I didn't get to try either of them.
But yeah, it really brings a lot of the Abyss feel into a small package. You have a pyramid that you can play your cards, and you're trying to connect colors of cards. There's like 5 different colors, and some of them have keys on them, some of them have pearls. You get points for the most pearls at the end of the game. You get 3 points per card in your largest group of a color. And the keys, once you get 2 of a kind, you can choose a scoring card they are all, there's probably like 20 of them, unique scoring cards for different things in your tableau. Which I really like there. And when you take cards, you can draw 3, 2, or 1 from the top, and which ones you don't take. You take one, you would put them all out there, and which could end up leaving like 3 green ones in one pile, which someone else can take, and get a really big move, which I originally wasn't sold on that, because I thought that's just someone's just gonna run right up and fill up their pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually balanced out quite well. Some people say that this replaces Abyss for them. Am I one of those people? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if Abyss is on this list.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm hoping to eventually play Abyss and probably that as well. Conspiracy.
25, the halfway mark. Here we go, boys.
Yeah, 25. 25 of the good games. Great games, maybe even. And I have Rajas of the Ganges. My 25. It's a game that I haven't played that recently. I really wanted to get you to play it, and we
I'm
just
not
have not gotten.
opposed.
She hasn't played it ever?
She has
No.
never played it,
Wow.
and I wanted to get it to the
for
table.
so long.
I think there was one night it was either Rajas or Gugong, and I ended up learning Gugong, and I've never played it since.
But Rajas of the Ganges. It's a worker placement game, and it's got a unique way of trying to win the game where there's 2 scoring tracks, or a fame track and a money track,
Yep.
and you're trying to get them to intersect. So maybe you'll go on the road of trying to get as much fame as possible or as much cash as possible, and trying to get those to cross over as quickly as possible. And whoever does that, the quickest will win the game. It's just so unique in that way. There's no other game. That's like a lot of my list, is trying to just get those unique games that don't feel quite like other games, or else it's a game that or else my other games are just games that I just really, really love and will play over and over and over again. This one has a few different interesting things, I think, in it that I like how they come together, with the worker placement, and there's a river that goes up through the middle of the board, and kind of going up that river where you can go a certain amount of spaces, and you can either take certain rewards or skip them.
Because it's worker placement, but you most of the time have dice that you assign with those workers.
Right, yeah. It's a combination of a worker dice placement. You don't place the dice, but you use the dice with a lot of your the actions you select. And there's 4 different color dice that you're using to take those actions, and then you're also building out a little board that you have.
Tile building.
Tile placement where you're also building routes to try to connect things. So it's just kind of a lot of goodness all in one game, and it's just one that I've really, really loved when I've played it. But it's got to get to the table soon, or else it's going to slip off this list.
My 25 is one we also have not had to the table recently, but it has been to the table quite a lot in our life. So I'm hopping back on the Stonemaier Games train here, and it is Wingspan.
Wingspan. Wow.
So I know these boys like
Thoughts on that, Zach?
These
I've
boys
got no
like
comment.
Wingspan much more than I do. It is still in my top half.
Oh
Let's
my God.
Let's not forget
That's why she
this.
put it at this one.
But you
like now I can say that it's in my top half.
Shocking for
Top half
me,
of my
though.
50.
It's not shocking for me though. It's not like a big secret that I'm not as big of a fan of this game as you guys are.
So is this fallen
It's true.
for you, or it's just this is where it's always been?
I mean, this is kind of where it's always been.
I thought you liked it a little bit better early on, but maybe not.
I mean, it was intriguing. It was difficult.
Because I have realized recently that you didn't like it as much, but I was like, has she always not liked? I mean, not that you don't like it, just that
Well,
you
when you're
didn't like it
getting
as much as I
70
thought.
points from tucked cards.
Yeah, okay, the one time.
For me, I just don't understand. I feel like that this game is so heavily reliant on what birds you get to start out with, what birds you draw, and what your scoring cards are at the end. I cannot get random garbage cards to work together. That is Zach's specialty.
I don't know if the
feel
scoring
like-
cards matter that much.
I feel like viticulture is a lot worse in that way, but this one you see a lot more cards, and maybe they're not all that powerful.
Mhm.
But if you do happen to get a really good combo in your starting hand or
Yeah.
with one in your hand and out there, then I think you will start with an advantage.
Mhm. Yeah, so I mean, it's a good game. It's just not my favorite. I don't know what you'd even machine building, engine building. Yeah, that's the one. Game. It's just sometimes it's a little overwhelming to me. Like I just don't know what to get, and I'm not able to build up cards. You know, so when I take an action, it's like I don't get 6 more actions or 4 more actions because I go through the.
No one gets 6.
I go through the different cards. It's just I don't know, and maybe I just. The focus of it is hard for me because I'm trying for this goal and I'm trying for the gold in my hand and I'm trying for the birds, and it's just there's just so many goals. I feel like I can't focus on one, and I never choose the correct one to focus on for the game. So it's good. It's just not my forte.
But it's her 25.
It is.
She's not. It's not in her great
Still
games
not
yet.
liking any of these games.
Wow, if we do a top 100 next year, Pepper, I think she's going to have to just stay with her 50, because we're halfway through here, and she still doesn't like one of the games yet.
I like it.
Well, you just said it's not your forte.
Well, it's not my forte, but I still am very intrigued by the game, and I do find it fun on
That's
occasion.
true. Do you like the artwork?
I do like the artwork.
Do you like the bird facts?
The bird facts are very interesting.
We got bird facts. I got dice.
Yes,
Dice.
it has dice.
Bird feeder.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Production.
Yeah.
They cared to put that in the box for you.
Did we get that up? Did we get it up to 24 yet?
No.
Dang it.
No.
Well, my 25.
If it's Wingspan.
It's Wingspan. Crossover on the number.
He understands. Jesse, you're acting like I'm a horrible
I
person.
know, I couldn't give it away.
Look at you. 25 on Wingspan.
This was my number 1 game at one point. For a long time, Wing was king. But some other games may have come along and were better. And I think,
It's hard for you to hear, I know.
Wow.
I
I figured this one had moved down his list a little bit, but I guess I didn't think it was going to be this far. But I also would not have guessed Dinosaur Island would have fell as far as it did. So
I don't know.
it's not that shocking. At least
I'll-
he didn't start off with 47 Dinosaur Island, 46 Wingspan. Then I would have really been shocked.
Out with the old. But yeah, I really do. I'm gonna stay positive on this.
Yeah.
I really do love the engine building, even if you don't really get it to work.
It's still fun to do.
It is still fun to do, and when you do get it to work, it's really satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that has hurt it is just getting to the end of the game, and there you just run out of actions, and you're like, I'm just gonna take eggs, I guess, if you haven't built a great engine, which is usually by tucking cards, getting to tuck 5 or 10 or 20 of them every turn.
Or 50 in the game.
Wow. One time.
Whatever. You tuck like at least 10 cards every game.
Wow.
I don't even know how he gets them. I can't get one that tucks.
The only way you guys are going to make up for this is if we go play Wingspan after this.
We got the new maps and the upgraded bits.
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
I'm not even going to lead with 24.
Oh.
You guys can do 24 first.
Okay.
Come on, Pepper.
Well,
Now that you've
when I
disappointed me.
said that, spoiler alert, Codenames was the party game for me, I guess I was wrong. Because this, I guess, is a party game. Any guesses?
It's categories.
Sushi Go Party.
Oh, crap. Okay, this is my second favorite party game.
Just one.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
It's a party game?
I would say so.
Could sort of say it. Sort of.
When we're playing it, it's a party game.
That is cutthroat with real knives.
How's it cutthroat?
Wow.
It's not that extreme.
You can't sneak anything past the sheriffs these days.
Wow.
I said for Deception Murder in Hong Kong that I didn't really like to be deceptive because I'm not good at it, but this is one game where I feel you're just thinking and outthinking people so much that I can get away with it from time to time. So there's not too much pressure with that. I really like in our version, not the new version. The new version looks like trash, in my opinion. Just not my style. I think this old version artwork is very atmospheric and adds to the fun of the game, the party of the game.
Wow. Yeah, it's an interesting game.
And
It's one we haven't...
the snap of the bag, the suspense.
After it breaks.
Well, yeah, we broke one,
Yeah.
so there's no snap to that bag. But, yeah, it's one that we haven't really played recently.
Yeah, it was one that you brought home as like one of the initial stepping out of the base like 4 games that we had played, and so it was like an instant hit, and my family bought it too, or we got it as like a gift or something, so there's 2 copies in the family now.
Still need to play that expansion.
I don't know, I'm just kind of over that game.
Wow.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's one where, some of these games where it's a little bit deduction type, trying to figure people out, work better with more players, but I think this one is even fine with possibly even 3 players.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing with the game is I feel like if you get good cards that match up, you have a way bigger advantage,
Yeah.
because if you don't have to lie, obviously, then
You're
you
good.
You can't get caught
No.
if you don't have to lie, and then you're probably gonna win, or you're gonna have a better chance of winning. Especially if you like got 5 of a kind
Yep.
twice in a row or something,
Yeah.
because there's no way they're gonna expect you to have done that, and then they'll pull your bag, and then they'll be paying you coin. But it's good.
Well, my number 24
Sheriff.
steps back into the olden days with the
The
sheriff.
olden days. The olden days with the sheriff.
Kind of.
Pompeii.
Mine is another Stonemaier game, and that is Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. So this one,
We have expansions for like every game.
I know. we recently played this one a little more, than we normally would have, and when we were playing it, I just kind of realized, I really like this more than I think I do, I think. Not that I thought I disliked it. It was just one that I was kind of like, I kind of wish we'd played this more. Or got it to the table more, because I find it really intriguing to build these castles. Pick a tile for each one of your castles, and build it up.
And we gotta play with the expansion.
I know, we just got it, and I'm not saying I'm the best partner in this game, and that's why it kind of is higher up, because I feel like there are combinations of people within our peer group when playing this game that can definitely score much higher than the rest. And it is good that you score your lowest castle, because it kind of gives you that advantage, but if you're just that good of a player, both of your castles are likely going to be high scorers. So I don't know, it's really intriguing. I love, I love the play style of it. The artwork is, okay, it's not the worst I've ever seen. It's also, kind of squished, so it can be hard, I think, to make that look really, really good, with all the details, but there are cute little Easter eggs, in different tiles, and so I just really like this game.
I like that one. It didn't make my list. It's a little overwhelming when you get 8 tiles.
Yeah, the first time I played this, I was like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, and especially when you
didn't
kind of
get
want
that
to
at
do
all.
a little bit, or a lot of stuff, a little bit of it, a lot of things. With each of your castles, it's like, well, most of these will work for each of these castles. And later in the game, that narrows down a little bit. But that was a little problem that I had.
I feel like in my recent plays, I've been, like, understanding more just, like, there's a certain vibe to this castle, and these are the tiles that I think are going to make it better. It's a vibe.
Vibing with Mac.
It's one of my top party games. I would consider it more of a party game, even though
Yeah.
someone may argue that it isn't, but I would say it's a party game. Now I'm going to VGA.
Ooh.
Of course, the one that he doesn't have, that's for VGA.
You don't know.
Well, I mean, the number he doesn't have a VGA pick. And it is Velire,
I've not played
which, is a game you have not played. We do not own it. It's a game that I think you played first.
Yep.
I was interested in playing it.
And I taught it to you very well.
Yes. I don't know if I've lost yet. But it's a game that I was definitely interested in playing, and I was glad that it was on there, so I had an opportunity to play it. Obviously, since it's on the top half of my top 50 right now, it might be more of a hotness thing too.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see long term where it lands, but there's just something interesting of drafting these different colored cards in order to kind of get a tableau of cards and try to get the most of certain ones to get bonuses at the midway point in the game, but also try to get some of each of them to get the more powerful additional cards, which can also help you. Yeah, the heroes, which can also help you kind of possibly not right away, but re-trigger and get another hero, and that can just get you a lot of points really quickly. I definitely want to play it more and more to try out more or try to get more of the heroes. Seems like I've kind of tried similar ones each time I've played, but I'd be interested to see how. I don't know if you've ever tried to get like multiple of the ones that score higher.
That are pretty much just another color.
Right.
I've gotten 3 or 4 of them, I think, before, which gets you like 100 points.
Right. Yeah. I was just wondering how that would end up, in impacting an overall score. But I've really enjoyed it. The artwork. It's always tough, I think, when it's on BGA because you don't actually get to feel the stuff and whatnot. I think the artwork looks nice enough. It's kind of got
black and white.
Black and white type, but then it's got those little splashes of color that are the different cards, so it kind of looks. I like the look of it.
One thing you didn't mention that I enjoy a lot in the game is the upgrading of your coins.
Oh yeah, the coins. Yeah, being able to
which is how you get first dibs
which is,
on
bidding for the
HRD.
cards. This is probably. I don't know if we've had a bidding. Any of us mentioned a bidding game yet, but I like that part as well. And deciding if you want to use your 0 coin to bid for something to improve your other
last.
Right, which gives you the last choice probably, but it improves your other coins, which is an interesting thing.
Yeah,
in the game
for sure.
23.
We'll see if it. I don't know. We'll see if it makes his list. I'm not sure. I mean, he's got every other VGA game on here, so I would think there's a chance.
My 23 is I'm hopping back to the European countryside here, and that is Ticket to Ride Europe.
Nice.
It's one of the staple first games,
Wow.
We're
gonna have to look at what the crossovers are here. I think you and Jesse might be crossing over more than me.
Yeah. And yeah.
You had 2 on the number.
Yeah. Look at that. So similar. I don't know, just great game. It's fallen only because I've been introduced to more great games, I think, and I think this is a good staple board game to have in a collection. We played it so much when I was a teenager, so it's a great production, I think. I love geography in general, and so that's something that piques my interest, and so that makes this all the more interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't see any of that when I play. It's like I need to get from this point to that point with
I know,
each
but that helps on the map because you're like, I need to go from Paris, France to.
I mean, if you've been there 100 times, like you have, I'm like, I have no clue where this is.
Well, yeah.
Is it an island off the map
I
somewhere?
haven't been to any of like the way western or eastern ones, but yeah, I don't know, just great. It's a comfort game. I still think it's really good to play, and I'm kind of sad that we don't get it to the table more. But like I said, we just have so many other games, new games, old games, all the games, expansions that we need to try, and so it just kind of gets
lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, but it's a great game, and I really do love it.
I don't want to spoil anything, but something maybe and possibly on your list later may have also killed it.
What's on my list later?
Well, we'll see. I don't want to say it
Maybe
just
not,
in case it is.
maybe not.
Maybe it didn't.
All right.
What is this? 23 is a crossover. I don't know if it's all of us.
Oh, would that be our first 3-way?
No, I had my counts. I don't know what.
that's right,
You
that's
threw that in there last
That's
second.
right.
We know it.
I remember.
Well, there could be a 3-way in this one alone.
No, this is not that.
No.
This is Ethnos.
don't
Mac
remember. Did
had
you
it.
say it?
I have not.
I had it.
You had it. Oh. Well, I guess we're crossing over.
Finally!
I don't know what that says about me.
Go downhill now.
But yeah, it's
For
got...
Yahtzee.
What? Nothing is wrong with Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. Better than Dinosaur Island.
It's like 20 spots better than Dinosaur Island.
I'm gonna get him a
That's
shirt
so
with a
stupid.
greater than Dinosaur Island. And then have all these classic games.
I'm gonna get him a shirt that just says Yahtzee. Yahtzee! We yell it at you randomly.
Back to Ethnos.
Yeah.
It's a game that, like you said, probably my only negative would be the board, and how bad that looks, and
Yep.
how the components don't quite mesh
Jive.
together. Mostly just those player pieces.
Yeah.
But the use for the player pieces, I really like how you are trying to one-up the previous, because if someone has 3 influence there, or depending if you're playing a 2-player game or a 3-player game, either the total combined or the previous highest. You have to play that amount of cards, or one more, to be able to place one out there, but you're also playing your cards to score points for each one that you play. Which I really like that the card play kind of goes for both of those aspects of the game. And just the amount of different, even just base game with no expansions, sadly, there are still a lot of different factions to use.
Yeah.
And I have not won that game, so that says something.
Ooh. Once he starts winning, this might make the top 10. Or if it gets on BGA.
Oh, there we go. I'll be over 300.
What do we got here? Ooh. 23, I believe. Is it a crossover? It may be a 3-way crossover. It is Council of 4.
Oh.
So it's another one that I think has great production. So that might be the theme of this one. Let's see here. Yeah, I think most of these have pretty decent production.
We
that I've
are
had this
shallow gamers.
It better look good, or it ain't making the list. So yeah, so Council of
Look,
4.
When you
Yahtzee.
play Yahtzee, and
Yahtzee,
then you
Cribbage.
get Council of 4, the production is like,
Wow!
wow.
That is great. But
Take my money.
no, everything you said about it, kind of the set collection portion of it, where you're trying to get the different colored places throughout the map, or all the areas of the 3 portions of the map, or and just the route building of trying to link them together to get bonuses and just continue to re-trigger bonuses over and over. Just a great thing in a game. I just love bonuses and how you can score a bunch of points that way really quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of have to plan a little bit ahead, I think, so that you kind of know, like, okay, this game I'm going to try to do, cover this sort of area. So then you can kind of plan to, I want to place this guy first, hopefully, and then be able to re-trigger him multiple times, versus kind of just placing a guy here and then placing one here, and since they're not connected, you don't re-trigger it. I just really enjoy trying to figure out how I'm going to go throughout and trigger the thing as many times as possible, while also trying to get the different scoring bonuses for completing those different portions of set collection.
I'm sorry to tell you, but this will not be a 3-way crossover.
What?
I really wanted to get it into the list, but I
not
had
more than
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
I had Yahtzee.
Not more than Yahtzee.
It's a great
Yeah,
production.
we knew it wasn't going to make it the second Dinosaur Island hit 47.
So true. So true. So sad. Well, my 22 is a great game.
It's not even going to make his list next year. What do you got?
It has nothing to do with dinosaurs. It is Orleans or Orleans. It's a great game. I was super overwhelmed when Zach first brought this home. I was like, there's 18 rounds, which in retrospect really probably is not that many. It's actually pretty average, I would guess, compared to some games. And so I just love this, picking out of your bag, trying to get different
Bag
people. Yeah.
Love to build.
Going
Big
on a
building,
route.
dark building.
I do feel like it can be a bit of a race, though, and so that's why I've kind of put it up, because we're all racing for the university almost every time, it feels like.
Should have been the name of the game. Maybe that's what they'll name it with this new company.
Yeah.
Capstone gonna rename it.
I'm not a great fan.
Race for the university.
I'm not a big fan of the production of it. I feel like it could be done much cleaner in some areas.
Capstone Games bought it. They're about
Mm.
the rights to publish it, so
Well,
it
we're
might
not
change.
getting a new version of it.
Well, if it works its way into your top 10, we might have to.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the classic version.
Wow.
Everyone's gonna want it.
Yeah, it's
And they
great.
somehow make it worse.
I just struggle, because you need a certain, you need to get those little people tokens to help increase your score, and I feel like that can be kind of limiting, or, depending on, it really is, I guess, depending on what you get, on how you get them, because I really don't feel like having that extra board, that marketplace, really helps you get them, and so you're really kind of, I feel like, limited to what you can get on the board. So, like, the one for the blue or red or whatever color it is, and then winning on the board, and then the university, those are going to be the ones that you can really get. I feel like, yeah, you just can't get them on the marketplace. So,
I think you could. I think the way we play it, though, I don't think we typically go for that.
yeah. Well, we don't, because we don't want other people to get it. Specifically you.
Yep.
Right, but, yeah. I think there's probably people that play it where they do fill up a lot of that market board. I think it's just the way our group plays it, partially.
I mean, we'll have to play the expansion with 2 new boards. One of them, So Take That Tom Vassal has never played it.
Really?
That's right.
Which one did we get?
Oh, we got both of them.
What?
But I know what one we're playing.
This might never be in my game
Oh, boy.
again.
What do you got?
My next one is a
great pick.
Is a crossover
We might talk about it later.
on this list
Oh.
with Zach.
Oh. That's not good. Zach
Is
didn't
it
have,
one that I
Zach
just
didn't
never
have
mentioned?
Yahtzee.
Well, you already mentioned Yahtzee. Is this Farkle?
This is Farkle.
Oh, yeah.
This is Rajas of the Ganges.
Ooh.
This game is it's got so much meat to it. You got...
Don't you like those meaty games?
Meaty. Yummy, juicy meat.
That to me sounds like overwhelming amount
Not
of things
overwhelming,
to do.
meaty.
Overwhelming things to do.
Cleaning out her ears. Doesn't want to hear this. She thinks she's hearing wrong.
It's like a steak versus a chicken. It's a piece of chicken.
Don't worry.
I don't know what that even means.
Yes, this is... I'll call this the chicken. This is the chicken.
It's steak. It's steak.
And Yahtzee is a hot dog.
We gotta have a segment where Mac just tells us if a game is a chicken or it's steak.
Or a hot dog.
This is ground beef.
I'll tell you.
I just like I love dice worker placement.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it is a lot more than worker placement just because you get to roll dice.
Mm-hmm.
They're beautiful dice. There's a lot of places to go, but I feel you can really focus on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's getting your board filled out with those tiles and connecting to the edges and having pretty big moves. I feel this is a game where you can have, especially with building out your markets on your tiles, and you just continue to get better and better in that, where you can have bigger and bigger production of coins. And like you said, the 2 tracks is like we played a game with that, or that is the...
I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's just really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and your dice, you can pretty much roll anything, and you can do something with it, no matter what you roll.
I agree.
And that's the only river in a game that I like.
It's a great game. Yeah, my number 22. Got one neither of you have played.
Oh.
It's one we don't own. It's one Taylor owns.
Oh.
Well, you already said Fleet.
Coimbra!
Oh.
Oh, if we hadn't just recently gone up there and I replayed this game, it probably wouldn't have made the list, but in the back of my mind I knew it always had a chance because I really liked it the first time that I played it. It might just be the fact that I kind of demolished Taylor this last game that pushed it all the way up here. It just makes it all the better.
We'll never get invited back now.
Please invite me back and let me play it some more. No, this one uses sort of, well, you draft the dice. So each round you'll roll these dice, and then you get to draft the ones you're going to use. You're going to use 3 of them, and then you use those dice to draft, in a way, cards. The higher the die,
And you
the
use
quick.
the cards.
It's
to
kind
draft.
it's kind of a little bit of a bidding thing. So if you do a higher numbered die, you get first pick or second pick, whatever. But you have to pay more for it as well. So it's one of those types of things. And then you buy these cards to go up these 4 different tracks, which allow you to do or get these other bonuses throughout the game as you do certain actions. And then there's also a middle board that you're going around and moving around, kind of like the one in Gugong on the top where you're moving and getting bonuses. And that I find very satisfying as well. It just feels like one of those games where you're getting these
Is it a chicken?
small
or is it
bonuses.
A steak?
It is a chicken.
Ooh.
No, it's probably possibly a steak, but I don't know. There's just
You said that so seriously.
Like he knows
it's possibly
what
a
that
steak,
means.
but I would say it's medium, a medium steak.
Yeah, I'm
Medium done.
interested in this one.
But-
Okay, Brass Birmingham equals steak.
Okay.
Red Rising equals chicken.
Okay. Well, then I guess it's steak, but it's a medium steak because it's not quite Brass Birmingham. But
Oh,
no,
boy.
Well done.
there's just a lot of things in the game that just work so well, and I want to just play it more and more just to see what it all has to offer. And it also immediately had me interested in Alma Mater. I don't know if that'll be one that I like as much, but it definitely was great enough that it got my attention for that, even though a lot of the artwork is very similar and whatnot. So we will see.
All right.
I think you would like it.
Yeah.
I'm mixed on whether or not you would. I don't know for sure you wouldn't like it, but I would guess probably not. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see when you play it.
Well, yeah. My 21 and my last one of the night is one we've mentioned before, and that is King Domino. I'll probably have it be the only one who has it this high, and that's fine. I don't know. I still really like it. It's it's kind of fallen because it's one that we played a lot, and I feel like I've lost a lot of replayability in the game after playing it so many times. I just kind of know what I want to do. Win or lose doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but it's not. Sometimes you just have to pick what you have to pick, and that's what it is. And so I really like this game. I think it's a great staple one to have. I like dominoes, the general dominoes. And so for me, this is a fancier version of that and kind of challenges me more. And so I like that aspect, that puzzle building piece of it. And it's one that I really still enjoy. So
I actually forgot that you were the one that said this. So to me, I thought this was the second time that this was on our list.
no, I like it so much. It's both 45 and 21.
But no, I do not have this on my list, but it is a very solid game. It was one that was introduced to us by Taylor and Kristen.
Yep.
And yeah, we immediately, I think you were I don't remember who was pushing more to get that one. I think it might have been you.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But maybe that was Karuba because you were just picking up the gems as you walked by them. You didn't even stop.
Wow, I can't believe you'd shade me like this.
So she may have cheated for her win, Taylor Kristen.
I've already told them this, and I have apologized.
But no, I think that's a great pick. King Domino is. If if it was one that I hadn't played quite as much,
Yeah.
I think if we had done this list like a year or whatever ago,
Uh-huh.
it would have probably made my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've said many times, we've played so many new games that
Yeah.
slowly drops down. But it'd be in my top 100.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Speaking of dominoes,
Is it just dominoes?
just plain old dominoes.
Mexican train?
Now this is the ball. No, the mind.
Oh. What a transition there.
Yeah, not my best.
I was confused. I'm like, what the heck game is the ball?
The ball.
The
Oh,
ball.
I sold it. But the mind. I think this was on Mac's list.
It was 5-0, baby.
5-0. Wow. No respect.
Well, then you don't want to know my...
Oh, it's
Didn't-
not on your list?
No.
It's just another one of those. We have a lot of these on the list that are just unlike anything else that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to, and I've also mentioned this quite a bit, trying to think and outthink. But
We're not really trying to outthink.
In this case, you are trying to do it for good.
Yeah.
To work with your team. Like, are they feeling 50 right now? Are they feeling 60s? And just the co-op that has no chance for an alpha gamer to take control.
Yeah.
It's just very satisfying when you can get it right. And this includes the Mind Extreme as well, which adds a different way to play the game.
I would maybe say this one's a party game as well.
Yes. Wow, I'm the party game machine.
No, it's a really good game. I think a lot of my list is maybe not all of my list, but it's probably meteor games. But
He's so hardcore.
and I'm not saying that they're better. I just think that if I got to choose what game I wanted to play, that's what I would pick, I guess. But I am definitely willing to play games like The Mind. It doesn't seem like we play it that often, so it's probably one that I would definitely be willing. There's some that we've played a lot that I would be less willing to really offer up, but I think The Mind is one that I still have some plays in me.
Oh, wow. Poor Zach has to lower his standards to play with his brother in life. Yahtzee!
Okay, so our last one at 21 has not been said yet. I don't know if it will. There's only one person that would say it, though, so I'm guessing no. But it is the Clans of Caledonia. This is another one that I haven't played recently, but I want to play it so much more. It just feels so satisfying. I just love the games where you try to extend your rounds and turns as much as possible. And this has that, where you have to spend money to do the various different things during your turn or take the different actions. So if you can kind of make your money last as long as possible, you can do more things than your opponent. And I just love the way the production or the way you try to produce resources, and then you can also try to convert those into different resources, so like cheese into milk and whatnot. And you're also trying to complete orders with those resources. Just the way it all comes together. And there's a market board where you can buy and sell these things as well. I feel like there's so much more that I could explore in this game, but I don't know that I'll have the chance to. I don't know. It's probably I don't remember what else I have on my list, but it's probably the highest ranked game on my list that I haven't played a ton, but I would really love to play a lot more of.
Yeah, this one used to be in my teens. I really felt that it was kind of a sleeper pick for like top 10 potential. I really loved the game. All I remember that I didn't like was that things can get really expensive. Like buying your people especially. Just kind of bothered me, but I do really like putting it out on the map and producing those resources.
Yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but they're not positive thoughts.
I mean, maybe I don't think I've played it in like 2 years. So And I think I've only played it twice. And it was still when I was rather newer at the whole board gaming thing, where we were just kind of
It's
dipping our
definitely a
toes
stake.
into the water. And then I think we played it when I was just kind of like not into it, not feeling
I
it,
know.
because I really don't like learning or relearning,
Mhm.
with groups of people. And so I think that kind of gave me like a sour taste for it. But I think in general, if I look at it objectively, this game is likely not my area of enjoyment because
It's a
if
steak.
I
It's
remember
a steak when it should
correctly,
be a chicken.
it's very overwhelming. There's a lot of things to do. And I think it requires some planning on your part, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I just think that if you plan, like I've said in previous videos, when you plan for something and then somebody affects something you need, it's very hard for me to turn the ship around. So,
I don't know that there's. I guess I don't know that there's
mean,
that
with
much
the-
player interaction.
I mean, with the,
the market though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
and the cost, and
Have we used the market that much where people are manipulating it to where it affects another player that negatively?
I mean, if they're gonna sell something,
I felt like-
if you reduce the price, that can really
Yeah.
mess up their series of turns.
I don't know that.
Well, there's just
I don't know that actually has
well,
happened, but
Yeah.
I suppose it could.
Yeah. Well, and there are so many things on the market. It feels like I can't focus on one. I have to focus
There's a
on
lot
all
going
of
on.
these things, and that is not my
And I love the production of the game.
preferred.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
it's
the
really
different shapes of the things and the way you have your board, and as you take resources off, it shows you what you obtain for having
It
those
is
out on the
not
board.
dual layered though, correct?
Right. Which
Mm.
that
Need
would
to get that.
that would make it better,
That would.
but it's already pretty good.
I'll have to look at it again. I don't remember being that impressed with it.
It's I don't
The
know. I'd
bug-
compare it to sort of to a scythe board, only not dual layered. Sort of, not really, but sort of. That's what comes to mind, I guess. Not saying that. That's just, I don't know. There's probably better examples, but who do you think had the
Another
best
10 down.
10 out of those ones?
Is it getting interesting?
I think it was probably me.
Wow.
Come on, we got the Yahtzee, the cribbage, the
Okay.
dominoes, the ball. That great joke.
I still don't get that.
I think I've got the
Should've-
steakiest games of us all. I think you've got the chicken. Well, you've got hot dogs. She's got chickens.
Thanks for watching.
Do you have a hot dog? Do you have a chicken?
Check us
What
out on YouTube.
types of games do you like best?
Check out our channel on YouTube. If you haven't watched our previous videos, go back and watch so you know what we're talking about now. And next week, expect our 20 through
11.
So we're getting right into the meat of things. Really digging into that Nacho Supreme there. And
Oh, boy.
don't forget to enter our giveaway. And
Keep on nibbling on that meat.
Burp, burp.